You work hard, you're capable, and you do really well at work, but you're afraid that your warmth and kindness and empathy is making people still underestimate you. In this video, I want to show you how empathy isn't your weakness, it's your hidden strength. Your empathy gives you insights, influence, and impact if you know how to use it. Let's talk about why empathy is one of the most overlooked, undervalued characteristic in leadership today. And I've got a great story here as an example. Hi Jess. I've worked in tech for over 20 years, in high-pressure roles, in complex teams, with big results. I know my stuff, but I still, they emphasize, walk into meetings and feel like I have to prove like I belong there. I spend so much time holding space for others, mentoring, smoothing things over, guiding new team members. I love doing it, they say, but it's like the more I care, the more invisible I become. I'm starting to hate how these traits are making me look. They make me feel small. I feel like I'm working twice as hard just to be taken half as seriously. I second guess myself constantly. I draft emails and reread them 5 times before hitting send. I know I'm experienced, but I feel like I'm holding my breath, waiting for someone else to validate it. I go home and unravel the day with my partner. Every little thing. Maybe I didn't say it strongly enough. Maybe I was too soft. Did I look like I didn't know what I was doing or saying? I'm exhausted. I've done the performance. I've done the perfectionism. I've climbed the ladder and still no one sees what I actually bring. I lie awake at night, running fake conversations in my head. In those moments, I speak with authority. I hold my ground. I'm not dismissed. But the next morning, I'm back in the room again, doubting myself, deferring to others, apologising for taking up space that I know I deserve should be mine. And I'm so tired of pretending I'm okay with it. I don't want to be hardened. I don't want to fake it. I just want to feel like I belong at the table as me. I don't want to change who I am, but I need to feel powerful again because right now I feel like I'm fading. This is so sad. This moves me. And it's so common. Partly why I share these stories is because they're common shared experiences. So I think what I'm going to do in response is share a couple of insights as to why this is happening, and then of course offer something you can do about it, and then some reflection questions for you to take home and work on to help you understand the situation better. Because, you know, self-growth, professional development as well, starts with self-awareness. Here's the essential message. I want to start with the fact that the culture of most organizations today, not all of them, but most of them, are full of people in positions of power who have got there because, yes, they either have technical expertise and they deserve to be there, but they still might lack the people leadership side of things. But the other reason that people get their promotions and leadership roles, as we know, is that they're really good at raising their profile. But because they are good at wooing people, or because they are prepared to lead on a project or speak up in a meeting, they are the ones that get seen. We can't change the culture of organizations. Trust me, I would love to. I have tried. And there are some organizations out there who are beautiful to work with. I have the pleasure of working with those too. So it's not all organizations, but it's some. And if you're experiencing being overlooked because your niceness is perceived as a weakness, then it's likely that you're in one of these organizations, or at least in a team in one of these organizations. One of the reasons why you're being overlooked as well is because people don't understand how much value you bring. They don't see it. You know, you don't walk into the office saying, oh my goodness me, this week alone, I have helped someone with their personal problem at home so that they could do their job better. This week, I have noticed that someone was really stressed, helped them delegate some of those tasks to somebody else, and therefore they're able to do their job better. You don't walk around saying that, so nobody sees it. It's like this invisible power you have. That's why we're here, right? In this case, with this story, we're looking at someone who is at the table. They're at the senior leadership table, but they still don't feel like they belong, or they still don't feel like they are listened to. And I've heard this again and again, and it's so important because when we're dealing with other people at a senior level, we have to come across as credible. And there's this game we play. We're still expecting them to spot us. We're expecting them to say, hey, Jess, what do you think about this problem? What do you think we should do? But at this level, no one's going to do that. You have to be prepared to put your opinion forward. Because if you don't have that power, if you don't take what is rightly yours, that space, then nobody else is going to offer it to you. But you're not used to taking up space. You're not used to speaking up and sharing your opinion. And you're not minding if other people dump on it. You want to protect yourself. You still feel a little bit afraid that what you're about to say is going to humiliate you or be silly or not backed up by evidence. You're not always going to feel that confident to express your opinion. That's something we need to change and we need to work on. So you've got these two problems. The organization doesn't recognize you, and you don't recognize yourself as the leader you are or could be. So let's tackle that. Empathy is invisible. So what we tend to have to do when we want to express it in a way that helps us to be seen as a credible leader and have presence, we have to be able to say what we see and then offer a way forward as a result of that. Spot what others miss and say it out loud. So if you're sensing tension between teams or tension between colleagues, call it out. Say, I've been sensing some disconnection. Maybe we need to just reset and realign what our vision is here. What are our shared objectives and how are we going to get there in the best way? This is a way to kind of say what you see and bring everyone together. Everyone else can probably sense it too, but you're the one who's saying it out loud and being prepared to guide that conversation to make it better. Frame your emotional intelligence and your propensity for caring about people into an actionable leadership step. So you might say, I'm hearing some conversations and I'm getting a sense that not everyone in the room is happy with the way we're progressing. Here's my proposal. You are offering an alternative and you're coming up with a solution, and you're showing leadership by saying, here's my proposal. You could say something like, I value team morale and I know that's what keeps projects on track. So here's what I'm proposing. So again, you're calling out tension in a way that makes you, one, draw on your strengths, two, highlight the fact that you have emotional intelligence and it is a strength, and three, that you're willing to talk about it and lead the way and come up with a suggestion that will improve things for everybody. So let me give you some reflection questions for you to ponder, and by all means, leave your responses in the comments below. I love to see them. Let's start. Firstly, where are you leading with empathy, but not calling it out in the way we've just described? What are you seeing that you could be calling out to help move a team forward or a project forward? 2, your insight is a valuable asset to you, your team, and your company, but only if you're using it in the right way. If you trusted your own insights, would it be easier for you to share them? So my question really is about self-doubt here. Do you trust your own insights? Those are all kind of like the spidey sense, you know, when you pick up on someone who feels unsettled, or maybe they're feeling overlooked or undervalued themselves, or a little bit stressed or a bit tired. Do you trust that instinct? And if you could act upon it, what would you do differently to make you stand out as the leader? In the next video, we're going to look at why empathic individuals make the best leaders and what gives them that little leadership edge. Meanwhile, if you're ready to stop overthinking and overgiving, and if you're ready to step into your empathic leadership presence, then why not take a look at the empathy-powered leadership journey? It's there to support you.